There is nothing more cliche than a man sizing himself up against another man, but today that is exactly what I'm going to do for you. I've always had a massive soft spot for these heavy duty expedition trucks, but let's be honest, their owners can be a wee bit aloof. Usually if you ask for a look inside, you get met with a cold shoulder, and to be fair, I get it, they're sick of people endlessly asking, how much did that cost and can I have a look inside? So imagine my luck when I bumped into Guy. Turns out he's a kindred spirit, an absolute chatterbox just like me. I was invited down by the lovely Danny to have a go around the MAN off-road truck site. I don't tend to get that jealous of other vehicles, but then when one of these pulls up next to you, this is Guy's truck. So we were talking last night, you got into vans because of necessity, so you went and got an Adria.
The plan was never to get an Adria, the plan was to get something proper like an MAN or a Mercedes. In lockdown, the choice at the dealership was that one. It happened to be an Adria Twin. It was perfect for what we needed at the time because we were touring entertainment through lockdown. We couldn't stay in hotels because we weren't classed as key workers, so they were like, well, you can't, for your drive-in theatre, you need to stay in a camper. So anyway, that's how I ended up with Adria Twin.
Yeah. So is this your next van after that? Or?
Yeah, it's a slight upgrade, isn't it?
Some people work their way up, transporter.
We went to a show called CMT in Germany, because obviously do the NEC every year, but it's all camper vans and white boxes and stuff. And then went to CMT in Germany, and there was a whole big floor of these insane trucks. And I was like, I really want one of them. And we're Universe just lining things up, but I've always wanted to do my HGV1, and it's quite expensive, about 4,000 to do it normally. Truck obsessed as a kid, but then went to a show called RTX, big road transport expo, and this guy came running over and went, oh, have you got your HGV license? I went, no, but actually weirdly I want to get it. And he said, well, do you run your own business? You can do it for free. The government are paying you to do it. Yeah.
Really?
So I think we paid like 600 quid admin fee or something for them to arrange it, but then didn't pay for the course.
You run a talent agency, but then you've moved into festivals, so you run...
It's all part of the same thing. So we're live entertainment. Our day job is looking after the likes of Chris Moyles and Sarah Cox. But through the van, we went to a couple of festivals that just weren't really our flavour, so we decided to do our own. So that's where Van Love was born.
I do find that, obviously I'm a brand director by trade, gone into this, it's just grown arms and legs. The more you do with it, the more people you meet and the more you kind of just get dragged into it.
I think it's fascinating. I mean, you've got such an extreme end. There's a big retirement community who tour in them. There's people that almost don't have a choice and live in them, and then you've got this wealth of people in the middle from every level of income, background, professional level of jobs. I love the fact you can put them in a field or put them on a runway as we do, and it's just like a melting pot of human connection. Got the common ground, whether it's that or yours or whatever size it is, you just find people with a common ground, and the place you've been, the journey, the adventure, all that kind of stuff. So our tagline for Van Love is Freedom Adventure Party.
I think that's the biggest thing I've learned. It's kind of the whole snobbery around certain vans and what people do and won't have and all the rest of it. The one thing is that there's a very similar type of person, like a like-minded person. I don't know if it's sense of adventure or freedom. When you're camping or whether it's a festival, you're all neighbours for that number of days and you just treat each other like a neighbour for those days.
It's amazing how much time you spend moaning about your neighbours.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, neighbours.
Yeah.
But you do. But with this, you kind of go, oh, they're a bit noisy, and you move, and you go somewhere else, and you just go and find another view, another location. I love the opportunity it presents that you're never stuck.
I remember having an argument with Katie about a neighbour that was running a generator on a little temporary campsite. She went, "You've spent longer moaning about the generator noise than it would to just get the stuff together and go up the road." We are going to be driving some of these today. Yeah, this is a very.
Are you taking yours in?
I don't know. I mean, I've not really got the right suspension. Yeah, it's very clean. Not really got the right suspension, and I probably need better suspension on the back of my van, so maybe, why not?
They're made to use, right?
Oh, watch this space. I'll probably scratch it or roll it or something.
Campervan builder Miles, who'd bought a demo van, has just found out that his silver van is being used on the track today.
I'm going to have a little wild guess that my van's going to get a wee bit dusty today. Parked here. Oh, guys just parked his truck.
Now I don't know what the 4x4 rules are, but I'm pretty sure there's an unspoken rule that if you park, you've got to try and park on a slight slope. Anyway, I was trying to do my best to show face and have a good look round MAN, which was a pretty impressive setup, to be fair. Really well done, really well organised. But I just wanted to get in a truck, so the first opportunity, as soon as he said, "Does anyone want to go first?" I was like, "Yep."
I mean, what do you want to play? Do you want to pretend you're aggregates and hardcore today, delivery driver? Or I don't know what you're having this one. First things first, you got to kind of work out how to get into it. Bloody hell, I feel like I'm climbing into a bunk bed. Whoa!
Just don't go to sleep.
Oh, look at this, first straight away.
So you sit in the seat, it goes soft up and down, and then it raises to a certain level. And the first thing that jumps out is that the way it's all laid out looks...
All the controls for the seat are on the seat.
Yeah.
So you've got your heated seat, you could have a cooling seat as well, the button would be there, height adjustment and lock.
You can have a cooling seat?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's your quick release.
Yeah.
There's your lumbar supports and your back. You can have comfort controls. They always come with a hazard, but you could have PTO, engine on, off. There's about 13 different windows up or down.
It's more plush. It feels more van-like. The quality of everything than I thought it would
wrapped
be.
around you.
Who'd have thought? Wireless Apple CarPlay, and I love it. There you go.
So nothing's touchscreen. I reckon you're better off when you're driving, you're not jumping about. And there's your steering brake. So it's like the old tractor brake with the bolt through it.
All right, yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
So when you put that on, so you want to be on loose ground, like the quarry.
Yeah.
And up to 30 k's, it brakes inside wheels,
Yeah.
gives you a tighter turning circle. Diff lock, interaxle locks, rock free mode. So that's like putting it in the first reverse to get you out of there.
Right.
But you just engage that and give it gas. Everything else is gears outside it. Forward for drive.
Yeah. So what actual model of vehicle are we driving?
It's a 35 440.
Right. So what's the gross on this then? What can it go up to?
32 ton.
Fucking hell. Right.
So we've got about 8 ton on. I always think the M works harder and better.
Yeah.
Wear full load.
Well, it's the same with the van. It's kind of, you get a van, there's nothing in the back, and the spring suspension's a bit of shit, and then when you put stuff in it. Well, I forget everything he said, but it's an automatic. How hard can it be? What a perfect way to actually test the truck out on the course, which there's a lot of money in that truck, but I suppose if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. I mean, that's the whole thing in terms of why you bought it. Well, I've just done my first run in the truck and just so addictive. The guys that must be driving expedition vehicles must be just loving it. They must be so chuffed. I mean, you can feel the weight, especially, I've not done any driving of lorries on roads and things like that. I've done a little bit years ago. My dad had a Christmas tree business, so I have had unofficially lots of drives of lorries and trucks, but on an off-road track like this, you can really feel the weight. Just so impressed with how it handles. Superb. So we're all track plate cool and not asked Guy about looking in his truck, but we all want to look in Guy's truck, so we're all now going and looking in Guy's truck.
It's not broken down.
Oh, it's definitely not broken down, no. Especially not at a man event, no chance. Yeah, it's just having an upgrade underneath, that's what's happening there.
Shooting the engine. More broken.
Fucking hell.
There's no over-engineering here.
So Guy was saying he's done this a little bit differently in that rather than like a proper overlander where it's all left sort of empty at the sides, he's done more of a race truck style, yeah. Which I really like. I mean, he's so wealthy, he's now got his own personal service guy that
Oh, yes, until he gets the invoice.
he's in a little garage at the back, he permanently lives with him. Doubles up as a butler sometimes as well, I believe. Oh, mate. Well, I'm already impressed. Yeah, so you got all like the little thingy catches, which like Andy at 8 Van uses for his loads.
I've done all of that. Well, he's found the boys cupboard.
He's found the what?
Straight into the boys cupboard.
Oh.
Victron Paul.
I mean, I'm normally slagging Victron off. There's a lot of work in that.
Slides away so you can.
Oh yeah, you got the proper. Yeah, that's nice. Is that a little cab through that guy?
Yeah,
Is it?
quarterless, the main code.
I know on the, you know the guys that have like the cats in the military vehicles and stuff, they can't always get that.
No, they can't because on the back you've got spare tyre and the radiators because the radiator sits behind the cab, so it's higher off the floor.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the vehicle, so you can't do this, but this one is. That's what.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
The interior stuff and the
Yeah, I understand. I know what you mean now. It's very close, but it's all the bits that you do together.
It's a time consuming.
And that's the thing, it's like stuff like this, like you just go.
That's going to be green. We've got a laminate to go with the
Right,
back
yeah.
of that. And then I want to do some kind of vinyl-y material on all this, so just so it's really like a bit smart. Made it inside.
What's that there, guys? Is that the?
This.
Is that the? Oh right.
So that forms the second double bed.
Right. Yeah.
So you've got a king in the back, king in the middle,
So that
and then a
twists round.
single in the front.
Yeah.
So it sleeps 5. So the cushions come off the back, and you've basically got full size
Yeah.
king bed. Lot of money. I mean,
In this van, we've got a YouTuber who thinks he can build bands, a guy who can actually build bands. We've got
definitely can't.
somebody who can't build bands, but has got the money to buy one of these. And someone who actually
say that.
makes coaches for football teams, so all the Premiership football teams, someone who makes coaches. So, like, there's a couple of people in here that know what they're talking about. Now, this was an absolute exclusive, and credit to Guy, like, you don't really want to show a van when it's not done. You want to show it on video on YouTube when it's all finished. So, hats off to him, and it's in the spirit of this channel, really, just showing where it's at the moment.
The cameras, the air conditioning, water sensors, everything talks back to Home Assistant. So you've got all the sensors will track everything is there. You can run the Sonos through it. Yeah. Outdoor lights, indoor lights, laser lamps.
Cool, on it. That's DVR, CCTV. How do you find the brigade stuff? Sexy.
It's full 360 AI, so it will pick up everybody all the way.
We proper struggle with the system.
So it's got the new Alder diesel heating system.
Yeah.
Truma Sapphire.
Is that wet system though, the Aldi system? Yeah. We're all over this. Miles has got his head down. Cupboards and all sorts of stuff. I've got to be careful here because there's no struts on the window yet. But look at the solar. Bloody hell. Some big bird poos on there, Guy. You're losing about 1% of your solar. Feel really sorry for you. What a thing that is. Amazing. A huge thank you to the Man team, with specific thanks to Danny for inviting Ahoy. Shout out to Nick, Miles, Austin and Ryan, two brothers that run custom campers. It was a great laugh last night in the hotel. And Guy, who I'm hoping to follow up with when it's finally done. And Nick, as I say, makes Premiership football coaches, so I'm hoping to go and visit him and see what goes into building a premium coach. Watching Guy drive around the track, I couldn't help but think about the adventures he's going to have as he's going to go and travel the world in this. But as Guy said, as amazing as it is to see what you can buy when you've got unlimited budget, it really is about getting the van that you can afford and building it in a way that suits you, make memories and have stories to tell around the next campfire. This weekend, I'm off to go and spend some time with Matt from T5 Upgrades in sunny Wales. And before I forget, we currently have a very special offer on at the moment. There's around £1,000 off the Urbispacker Breezonic Performance range, which is the bigger one from the Slim that I fitted a couple of weeks ago. We only have them in white, but there's a huge discount on those, so get them while they're still around. Just give Katie a call. I'll put the details at the bottom of this video.